Hey guys, sorry I haven't had a video up in a while. I've just, not really been focusing on YouTube much, but here I am again. And today I'm gonna show you my top 10 roller coasters at Europa Park. Now, I went to this park over the summer, and to sum it all up, really, in a short phrase, it blew me away. It was fantastic. It did win the Golden Ticket Award. It's won it for a few years now. The best theme park in the world, and you really can tell why. Pictures and videos don't do this place justice. It's crazy. And today I'm going to be counting down the top 10 roller coasters, even though at this park there's so much more to it than the roller coasters. But let's just get started. Okay, so at number 10 I've put Alpine Express. Now this is without the VR. I'm going to count it because, as you can tell from the picture on the left there, you can get VR. It is a added extra that you have to pay for, but I did do this with VR. I didn't do the other coaster which you can do with VR at the park, which is Pegasus, which didn't actually make this list. I'm going to tell you now. The other coaster that didn't make this list was the Schweizer bobsled coaster. But anyway, back to Alpine Express. It's fantastic. Mine Train is the best powered mine train coaster I've ever been on. It's got some great theming. The station's nicely themed, as you can see from the bottom, and it goes into a dark ride section, and you do the circuit twice. So it's a really fun little roller coaster for families. Next we have Matterhorn Blitz. This is once again one of my favourites. It's my favourite wild mouse that I've ever been on, mainly just again because of its theming, and it's got that cool kind of vertical lift elevator thing, which you can see on the top right picture. You go up to the top of that tower in like an elevator, and it swings a bit side to side, which is really cool. And yeah, it's just got some great theming, and it's a really great fun roller coaster, and there's not much else to it really. Number 8, this might be one that people don't agree with, but I'm going to put Atlantica Super Splash at number 8. And it's a really fun ride, but it's just not very long. I know the duration doesn't really reflect that, but as you can see from the pictures, it's a bit like Tidal Wave at Thorpe Park really. Apart from it's just got a couple more elements. Obviously it's got that dip at the top. You get a little bit of airtime over going back over to the other side, and you do that dip backwards, the small one at the top, by the way, spoiler alert. But yeah, it's really fun. You do get a little bit of airtime over the couple of humps and things that there are throughout the ride, and it's very nicely themed. The queue line's really good for this one. It's one of my favourite queue lines at Europa Park, definitely. It's really nice. Next we have Eurosat. Now this is an indoor roller coaster by Mack Rides. As you will have noticed on this list, there are a lot of Mack rides on here because Europa Park is owned by Mack, same company that made Mack Rides. So, and while I was out there, I did meet Roland Mack, which was amazing. But yeah, back to Eurosat anyway. This is it's a family coaster. It's got a very similar theme to things like Space Mountain at Disneyland, really, and the Disney World parks. Which it's really nice. It is a little bit rough around the edges. I mean, it's pretty shaky. It's got that really fun lift hill, and yeah, it's overall a really fun ride. It's as you can see, it's all enclosed as well, and one of the best things about this ride is also the operations. They're fantastic. It really is. I mean, if you looked at the queue, and it was say like half an hour in the UK or somewhere else, that'd probably be like an hour and a half queue. The operations are fantastic, and this is definitely one of my favourites. Okay, next we have Poseidon, which is the other Mack water coaster at the park. This is a lot longer than Atlantica, which is good. Very nicely themed again. The only thing is you do have to go kind of a long route to get to it. But anyway, this, like Atlantica, has got a very nice queue line. And yeah, the only thing I have to say about this one is especially the first section after the first lift hill, it can get very shaky, but that's only while you're going around corners, so the second half is very smooth, really. And yeah, it's overall really fun family coaster once again. And 5 is Euromir. This shocked me, really. I wasn't expecting much from this. So it's a max spinning coaster, as you can tell, and it's got those towers, which is really nice. It's got an amazing theme again. You'll notice that all of these rides have got amazing theming, really. But anyway, back to Euromir. It's fantastic. It's my favourite spinning coaster. And it's got the spiral lift hill like Eurosat, and the crazy thing about this is how intense it is. So if you look on the model on the bottom left or on the bottom right, you can see that you go through a few switchbacks at the top, gathering speed, and then you go down this massive drop which goes into a huge turnaround, and that is one of the most intense moments I think I've ever had on a roller coaster, possibly the most intense. And yes, that means more intense than rides like Nemesis and Kumba. So it's just crazy. It's insane, this roller coaster. It's really long as well, which is nice. Yeah, it's fantastic, this thing. I really like it. Now moving up to the big ones. Here we go. Number 4 is Silver Star. This is a B&M hypercoaster, the only one I've ever done. And a lot of people call it one of the weaker hypercoasters, actually. And I found this amazing. I talk more about it on my top 10 roller coasters list, so check that out if you want to hear more about it than I'm saying. But I think it's really underrated. Everybody says, oh, it's not as good as Shambhala. Shambhala is better, other hypers are better and things. But this was amazing. I got airtime over pretty much every hill. Only the first one I didn't really get as much. And in the second half, the ejector airtime is wow. This is amazing. It's really comfortable as well, and yeah, I just really love this ride. Tallest roller coaster I've ever been on as well. And this is one that probably most of you weren't expecting up this high. This is Arthur in the Minimoys Kingdom, and this is one of the best experiences I think I've ever had. Not just on a ride, just ever. It's one of the best themed rides as well. This is just amazing. It's just there's no other words for it, really. It's just astounding. It blows me away every time. Rode it about 3 times while I was out there in the summer. And as you can tell from the stats, it's not very fast, not very tall, but it's really long. And one of the coolest things about this is it's got so much to it. So it's a family suspended spinning powered roller coaster. It's interactive, and you've got onboard audio. There's projection mapping, there's animatronics, there's just everything. This ride's just fantastic, and definitely a must do if you're at Europa Park. Number 2 is Woden Timber Coaster, the GCI at the park. Arguably one of the best themed rides at the park as well, mainly because of the queue line. If you go in like the extended queue line things, it's just amazing, this thing. It's also one of the best rides just by itself. You get some fantastic airtime on it. I'm gonna say my favourite thing about this is the drop. So as you can see, you can just about make it out on the bottom right hand photo, that after the lift hill you go into like a pre-drop section. It's just a big turnaround, really, and you gather up so much speed on that you wouldn't really expect it, so you're not in your seat throughout the whole of the drop, really. It's amazing. That drop goes into a tunnel. It's a little bit shaky, but that adds to it, really. You can't tell just because you're going so quickly. You do not let up. It's definitely one of the best roller coasters I've ever ridden, and definitely re-rideable. I got on this quite a few times over the 4 days that I was on park. And number 1 is Blue Fire. If you've seen my top 10 roller coaster video, you probably saw this coming. But if you hadn't, then there you go. My favourite roller coaster in the world is Blue Fire. And here's why. So it is so smooth, it is so comfortable, it has got some fantastic hang time, some great air time. It's just amazing. I would do anything to just ride it now. So what you do, I'm just gonna give like a very good summary of this, because obviously it's my number 1. Excuse me. So you start off by just going through a bit of dark ride section, but theming with like energy and stuff. Before this, also in the queue line there's these like 360-degree panoramic screens and stuff all around you, all just like themed to like energy, because it's sponsored by Gazprom, which is amazing. Those are really cool. It's got a pretty well themed station, and obviously the dark ride sections are really well themed too. Then you you wait for a few seconds, and then you go straight into the launch, which is one of the coolest launches I think I've ever been on, because I believe it's an LSM launch, correct me if I'm wrong, and it goes straight into this massive overbank turn. But the thing is with this launch is that you don't get like a jolt like you do on Intamin accelerators like Stealth or Rita, but you kind of gather up speed the further you go along, if you know what I mean. Yeah, okay. And then you power through some great inversions. That loop, you get some great hang time. You go through a couple of horseshoe roll, corkscrew thingies, which are pretty much back to back. There's only a helix between them, which they're both really fun. Then you go through a couple of overbank turns and through a few airtime moments, and then into the highlight of the ride for me, which is, as you can see from the left-hand photo, it is the barrel roll, heartline roll, twist, whatever you want to call it. You power through it so quickly, it's so damn amazing. You go through it so quickly, you get the best hang time like ever. You just come out of your seat, like it's insane. And then you just go through a turn into the brake run. It is just amazing. There's no other way to describe this. And yeah, that's all I can say. So thanks for watching, guys. Once again, sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, and yeah, I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. See ya.